Welcome back to the Expert Walkthrough for Demon Souls, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Let's Play Dark Souls HD, and we left off here, underneath the Lord's Path. And the last thing we saw was we took a peek out here, and we can actually see the dragon flying around, stalking us, waiting for us to go back up, so he can burn us and eat us. But that's not what we're here to do. We're not about that life. So we're going to continue in this direction, going back towards the Archstone, actually, because we want to rescue Ostrava. We need to kill the men that are preventing him from escaping. Before you set foot down this path, I highly recommend you put the Thief Ring on. Regardless of what your build is, no matter how much you might think you need the other rings you're wearing, minus the Cling Ring. If you're in Soul form, that's pretty important. Maybe don't replace the Cling Ring with it, but any other ring you might have, you definitely don't want to put in place of the Thief Ring. This should be at the top of your priorities, is making sure that you have stealth when going through here, because we're going to be running into enemies that we do not want alerted of our presence. Having control of every single scuffle that you get into on the way to Ostrava is incredibly important, because if you get overwhelmed down here in this tight space, it's a bad time. Thief Ring really helps with that. Particularly, the thing that's really nice about the Thief Ring and why it helps so extraordinarily down here is because not only does it silence your footsteps, but it also decreases aggro range for some enemies, so they can't see you as easily. Now check all of these corners on your way to Ostrava, because we have one guy shooting at us already, but you're going to have these guys kind of waiting around these corners, and they're not as easy to see because it's dark. Oh, damn it. I switched perfectly the wrong time as he was shooting. So this part's kind of hard to do because you can't really see these guys very easily. But honestly, it's like, it's a shooting game. So who's going to win? Them or you? Alright. That wasn't so bad. So let's continue. And when I say check the corners, I mean it, because like these corners right here are perfectly wide enough to be able to hide an enemy that would just be completely out of sight for you because it's so dark. Alright, so let's do this. Do a little bit of dodge. We know we kill these guys in one hit, so let's just do our thing, wait for them to shoot, and finish them. The gash resistance ring. So this is going to give us resistance to bleeding. I'm pretty sure you pick up like 2 of these. And what I really like about this ring is it's like a candle wax type stamp ring. Looks pretty damn cool. Soft ring bearing a bright red seal, like you would see on a letter. Increases resistance to bleeding. Crafted by a Gary, known for his magic handicrafts and close acquaintance with Sage Frake the Visionary. So the person who made this ring is friends with the guy that we're going to rescue from the Tower of Latria, or the Prison of Hope, it's called. This was also crafted by Gary. This is another resistance ring. We picked this up, and this is the second item that was being guarded by the Blue Dragon. And again, crafted by Gary, and all this does is increase your resistance to flames. It's a very good pickup because it's going to be super useful against a particularly formidable boss that we're going to fight much later called the Flame Lurker. Alright, and just like that, it looks like we've rescued our pal. So this is one piece of armor that we got that is also not in the original Demon Souls. This blue knight armor. This is the exact armor that's worn by the Blue-Eye Knights that we fight. It's heavy, man. It weighs 10.5 units. Ours weighs a tenth of that. So, it's very defensive, though. It's got great bleed resistance. It's got great resistance to everything except magic. And I'm telling you what, if you are going for a build that has kind of a heavier armor and you're okay with the equip burden, this is a nice option in the beginning for you. It does well. We need to stay light and nimble, though.
Thank you. That's twice now. Time to forge ahead. This is a token of my gratitude. Please accept it.
Alright, Dark Moon Grass. So we're probably going to end up putting that away too, because Dark Moon Grass is like the best healing item in the game.
This is bad. Not a single person left. Why on earth? How did this happen, noble father?
So they changed his dialogue a little bit in the remastered version. It's pretty much the same, but he seems much more distraught in this new one. The voice acting is just a little bit better. It has more conviction, you know. He seems more upset, more emotional about it. And in the original dialogue, all he says is father, not noble father. I don't know why they changed that.
How did this happen?
I'm surprised he did not hit me when that happened. Alright, so now we can run back. And now we're going to start heading the opposite way. Because it's not a very far way to get to Ostrava, but that is the easier of the two directions. We came from up there, the surface level of the Lord's Path where the bridge is. There's danger of dragons there. Here comes Ostrava. The way to get to him is pretty short, not so bad. We just dealt with some archers and like a Dregling. This way is going to be significantly more difficult. This way, there's dogs. Good lord, the dogs. And there's Dreglings. So, again, the Thief Ring. The Thief Ring is very, very, very good, and it will make this part so much easier. Thank God we cleaned these guys' clocks with just one hit, man. And then once we get up here, this is where the dogs are going to start to be. Here's another opening. Can we see the dragon still? You stay over there. Don't come over here. We can just barely see him if we tilt our camera down, okay. So we can get yet another look out here. This is an even better look, this opening. So we can see what looks like part of the castle there. Like a regular road that goes through the village. You can even see corpses down there. You can see like a dead horse and a body. So see, this bridge leads over to a different part of the town. There's a sunken ship, a ship graveyard, as a matter of fact. Wow. And then over here we can see just a completely torn apart, like, inner wall portion of the city where there's fires still burning. So it looks like the dragons are also afflicting that part of town. Or not town, I guess it would be the kingdom. Damn. Very cool to look at, though. That's quite enough. Let's look at the soul item, a little bit of grass. Alright, so once we start getting up near the dogs here, this is when it starts to pay really well to not alert them. So let's use our telescope. Let's be smart. So here they are. The dogs look horrifying in this game. Like the dogs in the regular Demon Souls looked like domesticated dogs that just happen to not like you very much when they come after you. These dogs, I mean, do you see that? Like, I hope you're watching in 4K. I hope you can see this. These dogs are bloodied. Like, their mouths are covered in blood. They look like they have these leather or maybe even iron masks on them. Like, these are battle hounds for sure. They are designed to rip the enemy apart, and they look hungry as fuck. Let's do our due diligence and keep them hungry, shall we? So, I don't fuck around when it comes to the dogs. Once you're close enough to lock on, use your best attack. Like, for us, that's Flame Toss. Fire works exceedingly well against the dogs. Like, magic is good too. Our Soul Arrow will get the job done. Same amount of damage, as a matter of fact. It'll one-shot them no matter what. But beast-type enemies with fur and stuff like that in these games are traditionally more weak to fire. So, it doesn't matter for us in this case because we're able to one-shot them no matter what. But that is how I recommend you deal with those dogs. Because once they start running down this hallway and they aggro on you, especially all of them, it's a bad time. You're almost guaranteed to die because the dogs are very irritating to deal with. Like, I would say the dogs in Demon Souls are probably the worst in any of the Souls games. Like, 100%. They're probably not as bad as the damn T-Rex dogs in Elden Ring, but it's close. I mean, they're bad. So that guy, he can see you before you can lock on, but it's okay. Still got him covered. Get this grass. And then if you destroy this, this will take you back up to the Lord's Path. We're not going to go that way just yet. We actually want to go all the way through until we get to the end, because this is the second location for the Dregling merchant. Look familiar?
Ah, we meet again. Fancy that. Hope you find something that suits you.
You lied to me. You said you weren't going anywhere. So, you find him down here. Doesn't look like he has anything new for sale. Well, he does. Would you look at that? Got the claymore. That's not something we're going to use, unfortunately, because that thing needs 20 frickin' strength to use. We would need to level up our strength even more to use that, even just two-handing it, and we're not going to do that. So, still sells the same armor, same consumables. Oh, he's got pine resin this time. Okay, that's convenient. We have plenty of that, so we're not worried about it. I might get that, man. I might. I don't need it. I just really like it. It's a fantastic weapon.
It is the end of Great Boletaria as we know it. But hell, at least the demons don't send us hard times, eh? I'm sure you'll turn things around.
Maybe. So, there's an item back there behind him. That is the brushwood shield. It's not accessible right now. We actually are going to have to do some crazy shit to get that item, but it'll come much later. We're going to have to worry about our tendency to get to that item. Now it's time to head up. And I like how in these older Souls games, you have sort of this thing on your waist that's like a built-in lantern. Familiar screech of the dragons. He's going to continue roasting everything in his path. Fine by me. So let's go clear these guys out up here. And we got the compound short bow. Some heavy arrows. So, I feel like the game is telling you something here when this happens. See this thing. What do we need? 18 strength? Okay, so we can use this if we want. It's the compound shortbow is a strength scaling bow, and we're not going to get very good damage scaling if we use it. But here's the thing. You don't need 18 strength to actually use this bow, because you don't one-hand a bow in the first place. A bow is a two-hand thing. You can't use it without two-handing it. So this is going to be the strategy for the dragon. Essentially, we're going to hang out here, shoot him in the face like 100,000 times, as much as we possibly can, but we're not going to do that right now. I would never put you guys through that. That would literally take the entire episode, and just not doing it. And somehow, we still fast roll, even with the bow equipped. That's good. So oh, God. Forgot about them. Alright. Rookie mistake. That didn't do anything. There we go. So let's do this. Get them, many of them as we can, in one go. And it doesn't look like the dragon can reach us quite this far up, so let's see what we can do about this, shall we? Yeah, looks like we're safe to grab these items. Why not? May as well. Crescent moon grass. Crescent moon grass. And look at this. Get lured in with cheapies, man. These aren't even good items. Classic FromSoft to lure you in to get things that aren't even worth it. That one was worth it, though. The Unknown Warrior soul's worth quite a few souls. Such a cool visual effect, man, watching the dragon come in. So, I want to point something out here. You can absolutely just rattle him with magic for this part. I missed completely. Ignore that. But you really can do that if you want. Like, there's nothing stopping you from just sitting here with Soul Arrow or something hitting him like that. We got him that time. don't do a whole lot of damage to him. Would probably be far better off trying to do it with a bow, but you get the point. So now we got some more Dreglings. Kill them in one hit though. They're a joke. Let's see if we can get him to do this part of the bridge. There we go. Free souls, man. I'll take it. And if we go all the way up there, that is going to be the boss as we know it. So I think what I'm going to do... may as well go ahead and push through and kill the boss. It's going to be the Tower Knight. Pretty cool fight. Let's wait, though. Let him do his thing. We'll run full speed up here. Run! Take cover right here. Alright. Kill these guys. Got two of these guys to deal with over here. Some late moongrass, okay. And then down there you can see that we can clearly go there at one point, just not right now. And then we have another Blue Eye Knight to clear real quick before we go up there. And we're actually going to take on our first Crystal Lizard. Man, I suck at this game. Alright. Try that again. Yeah, even just doing regular hits on this guy, we shred through him like hard. Oh, come here. There we go. More grass, which is good, because clearly I need it. I swear, man, my parrying is super rusty in this game. I have the knowledge to provide a wonderful walkthrough for this game, just not the muscle memory. You've got to get back into the groove. This cannot be opened. We're going to need a special key that we're going to get later on. A key that is hidden with a special NPC. But we can go up here. Now, you want to be sneaky for this part. Sneaky does it. And because the damage difference on our weapon is so high, I think it's better that we just keep the Crescent Falchion on for this lizard, because we want to kill him as fast as we can. If they get away, they burrow and disappear, just like any other Souls game. And we don't want to miss out on this Crystal Lizard, because he has a material that we want to use. Normally, they are much weaker to slash damage. Fuck, there he goes. I'm just going to keep smacking him. Not taking a chance. Large Hardstone Shard, thank you. We're going to use that to upgrade the shield. We can actually kill him a second time, believe it or not. If we go back and rest at the Archstone, we can kill him again, because fun, little-known fact that is only prevalent in this game, this mechanic does not exist in other Souls games, but in Demon Souls, when you kill a Crystal Lizard, that same exact lizard will respawn again in the same exact spot per boss that you defeat in that world. So for every single Crystal Lizard that we come across in this world that we're in, the Boletarian Palace, which is World 1, every single boss we kill is going to cause every lizard we see to respawn one more time in that same spot. And the Thief Ring is very helpful for getting that lizard that we just killed, because if he hears you coming, I mean, hell, I felt like we were pretty sneaky. I crept around that corner and he booked it. So take advantage of the fact that these guys reload super slow. And then we got some good stuff up here. We got a good soul item, Renowned Warrior Soul, and then we also picked up another Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. So now it's time to take down the boss. This is a pretty damn cool boss fight. Alright. First thing you want to do for this boss fight is run. Run your ass off. Wait for him to shoot. Take care of the first guy that you pass. The goal of this fight right now is we want to get rid of all the archers. Every single one of them. Fat Minister was standing right here, but he's not now. And he's going to keep chucking that ranged magic attack at you, but as long as you are behind the stone railing, he can't hit you. So this part's important, okay? The reason you want to use the Crescent Falchion for this part, or whatever hits the hardest, is because it is very important, and I mean deathly important, that you kill these guys before they fall down. Because if you just knock them off the ledge, and this was done intentionally, have no doubt about that. Knocking them down just allows them to shoot you in the boss room. The next thing you know, you're scrambling to find these guys and kill them, and all the while, he's creeping closer to you and ready to kill you in like 2 hits or some shit. Because you don't have very much health at the beginning of the game. So, Tower Knight is totally capable of one-shotting you. So do yourself a favor. Make sure these guys are dying in 1 hit, or at the very least, dying before their feet hit the ground. Make sure they are not alive. So I think we're okay. That should be all of them, I believe. So let's heal real quick. I'm gonna be at full health for this part. If you sprint, you can get through that ranged magic attack without issues. Now the goal is to just hit him in the ankles till he falls down. His shield slam is AoE, so that's the visual cue that you want to look for right there. Is get both of his ankles flowing wildly like this. Make sure you do both of them before you knock him over. Once he falls over for good, he will send you flying. So do not be waiting next to him when he hits the ground. And because this Crescent Falchion is so damn good in the beginning of the game, you can kill him in 1 knockdown. Now, if you were not using the Crescent Falchion, or you did not have the damage output that we have right now, you would probably have to repeat that process 2 or 3 times, attacking his head. The only reason we did so much freaking damage to his head right there is this weapon, entirely because of this weapon. It is responsible for that. Okay. So now let's collect our soul item. Iron Demon Soul. And that's why I feel like this item should be pronounced the Lead Demon Soul instead of the Lead Demon Soul, because it's weird. Like, it's a weird twist on words. You want to call it the Lead Demon Soul because with the Phalanx situation, it is the lead demon, right? Like, it's the strongest entity in the center that is leading the others to attack. Like, it's synchronizing the attacks. That's the whole idea behind a phalanx, is the terminology phalanx is not unique to this game. A phalanx is an actual term that is used to describe, like, battle formations and stuff. But this is why I believe it should be pronounced the Lead Demon Soul, because you follow up with this soul, which is directly after that boss, and this is the Iron Demon Soul. And then once we beat the boss in the next part, which is the Penetrator, it'll be the Silver Demon Soul, right? So they seem to be ores, or alloys. But you get a good chunk of souls for beating that guy. We are in human form again, but we can't proceed any further. A thick, colorless fog holds you back. Only those who have slain an archdemon may pass beyond this point. So there's no getting in here. We have to slay an archdemon. And the first archdemon that we're able to murder is probably going to be the Dragon God. So ideally, what we want to do next is probably start pushing our way through Stonefang Tunnel. And that's ideal for us in this playthrough, because something that is very important to my build is going to be located at just such a world. Something that's really going to take our damage to the next level. Alright. Talk to me. Alright, so we have... Wow, yeah, we're carrying almost 11,000. So we should be able to get like 8 levels or something, right? No? 5? Okay. The demand increases substantially as you continue to level up. That's one thing I actually admire about Demon Souls is the balancing and the level. It's really, really hard to over-level yourself in this game. Like, you have to go grind a considerable amount, and who the fuck wants to do that? So, if you just play through the game and use the souls that you acquire as you get them, your consumables and all that stuff, considered, it's pretty hard to over-level yourself, and the game is still going to be quite challenging to you. So, we are able to level up 5 times, it looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to that next slot. I think that's important for us. I'm going to raise our magic stat 1 time. The rest of our stats seem to be just fine for now. And the magic stat is going to help increase our damage because our scaling is very, very good with the magic stat because of our weapon, the Crescent Falchion. So this is what I'm going to do for now. 3 slots will probably be just fine for us for a long time. So now that we're done, now that we've got up to 3 slots, we can probably leave intelligence alone for a little bit. And from here, we can start focusing on vitality, endurance, and magic. And those are really going to be the only stats that we worry about. Strength and dexterity are not going to change again for the rest of the playthrough. Not right now, at least. Because the ideal build that I have in mind is going to involve two-handing most of our weapons, because we're not going to have to use them all that often. Alright. Alright. So the world might be mended. So let's go talk to our pal over here, because there's something we want of his. So I'm probably not going to do this right now. Well, for one, because we can't afford to, but this skill is good. Protection is fantastic, but what we want, or maybe it's not protection. No, that costs 5,000 souls. We want to talk to Urbane, I believe. He's probably the one that we want to talk to.
Oh, fellow, this way.
No? Okay.
I see. I pray we
Fine by me. It is a sorcery. I was right the first time. However, that guy over there can't teach us that. We actually have to talk to Frake. So that's something that I'm going to point out to you guys real quick if you're following this walkthrough and playing along with me. Do not use the Iron Demon Soul. You can consume it for, like, I think like 5,000 souls or something like that. Like, it'll give you like a pissant amount of souls, which will get you another couple levels if you're truly desperate for it. But I say do not use that, because you can transmute this thing into magic and miracles and stuff like that. And it's going to give us a... Well, let me talk to this guy one more time. I think protection is what you...
Are you begging for a magic?
But the thing that's bothering me is it doesn't say that it requires the lead demon's soul. It just says it costs 5,000 souls. It's still really good. Protection is really good, but I'm pretty sure we already had that. So, yeah, we're going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait until we rescue Frake, who is this guy's apprentice. And he's in the Tower of Latria, which is one of the earlier worlds that we're going to cover, probably right after Stonefang, which is World 2. But we probably need to get Frake back here, because Frake is the one who can use demon souls to teach us magic in exchange for them. But, let me see. Oh, Ostrava! Yeah, let's talk to him.
Before the Blight, Boletaria was a grand kingdom. The king, his knights, and his subjects were modest and plain, but also steadfast and compassionate. I have spent much time in my studies in the cultured countries of the south, yet no country holds my heart as does Boletaria. But look at what has become of us now. I refuse to believe that this is what Father wished for our great land. Here in Boletaria, we speak of the legend of the 2 swords and the solitary hero. The 2 swords are Demonbrand and Soulbrand. One sword banishes that which befouls man, and the other banishes man himself. The solitary hero is old King Doran. King Doran is the Everlasting One, founder of Boletaria and protector of the 2 swords. Of course, only according to legend. But in the dark state of our land, sometimes legends are all we have.
Funny you should mention that, Ostrava, because what if I told you that you were carrying the very key that allows you into the mausoleum that King Doran, this legendary figure that you speak of, is sitting in with his thumb up his ass?
King Alant led Boletaria with a round table of the bravest knights. The noble twin fangs, Valifax and Bjor. Alfred, the tower knight. Metas, the penetrator. And the brave tribesman Longbow Ulan and his fearsome legions. But today, Boletaria is an abysmal mess. Valifax was lost, and Bjor slipped through the fissure, never to be heard from again. All the rest, along with Boletaria, are either devoured by the fog or fallen afoul of the demons. The Boletarian knights are no longer. But perhaps our age will see the rise of new heroes, such as yourself.
And there it is. That unique, nostalgic, warming dialogue. Fantastic. So, interesting that he mentions these knights, these figures. We're not going to meet any of them per se. We're going to fight red phantoms of a couple of them a little bit later on, but Bjor himself, one of the twin fangs, we're actually going to rescue him. He slipped through the fissure, is what Ostrava said, but believe it or not, the guy's actually napping in a dungeon below in Boletaria. Very first world. Ostrava was literally, like, probably within 100 yards of the guy at one point. And Ostrava also has the key that's required to get into the door, which, like an idiot, I didn't even show you guys in the first episode when we fought the Red-Eye Knight. And the Red-Eye Knight is guarding that door that is locked, and Ostrava right there has the key to get in. You can kill him for that key, and you can find Doran and one of the Swords of Legend, Demon Brant, early. But we'll get both swords. I'll show you what they do and why they're so great as we progress in the playthrough. But what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to cut here, and I'm going to show you guys how to deal with the dragon. So I will see you there. So the first step in this process of dealing with the dragon is you're going to want to come back here to the Shrine of Storms. We covered this area very briefly. There was a vanguard here, some skeletons. Fighting your way through them with a much better shield, like the heater shield, and a much better weapon, like the Crescent Falchion, is going to make things pretty easy. But if you're playing along with me, Flame Toss is what makes this super easy. So burn these skeletons alive. Watch out for the foot plate again. Let the arrows do their thing. I'm in human form right now, and I had told you guys that I really don't recommend doing this in your human form, and that still stands. Do not mess with the skeleton out here. We have no business out here anymore. Just follow the steps. Keep your shield up, though. There is a skeleton up here. I think. Yep, there he is. So, we have the thief ring on, which is fantastic. That means we're not going to scare this lizard away, and that guy over there also isn't going to shoot us. If we were to take the thief ring off right now, that guy would start shooting at us with a bow, and it would suck. So, what we're going to do is we are going to take care of this guy. These guys are much easier to deal with. You kill them in just a few hits. Real easy. That lizard over in that crevice over there, where the item is incredibly important to us. He's going to drop an upgrade material that's going to be for this falchion in particular. The Dark Moon Stone is what's used to upgrade crescent weapons. But what we want to do over here is we just want to cross over. We're going to head down below. And the reason that this part is important for killing the dragon is because we have to buy lots and lots and lots of arrows. So this pressure plate right here, the other one, it doesn't really matter if you step on it, but I don't recommend stepping on this one, because as you can see, there's 6 total. Like, yeah, looks like 6. You do not want to get hit by these things. It's bad. So the copper key, that is what we wanted to pick up. Let's read the description real quick. A plain copper key lightly coated with mold. Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So now what we want to do is since we have the appropriate key, we can unlock the appropriate cell. And that cell that we're going to go for is this way. So we don't want to scare this lizard away, but thankfully we won't since we're wearing the thief ring. Like, he should not see us or try to run away. And it doesn't matter if he did, because we would just quit and reload and he'll come back anyway, so it's not a big deal. This part is a big deal, though. This part absolutely fucking sucks. So, once you can lock on, blast him. I mean, blast him good. Wait for him to bounce. Flame toss. Easiest way to deal with these guys down here. 100%. He's not the only one, though, so be careful. There's another one up here. Where the hell are you? There you are. Ah. Now this guy, you don't have to be so careful against this guy. You don't have to use fire against him, because, I mean, you have a little bit more room. But don't go upstairs. That's not where we're going. We actually want to take care of this illusory wall right here. And we're going to have even more skeletons to deal with. But that's okay, because we are prepared. We have the necessary tools. We're going to use fire down here. It's the best thing to use in this narrow corridor, because when you hit these walls, you'll bounce, and your hits will not go through, and you will also take counter damage from the skeletons. Nobody wants that, I assure you. So, be very careful. Use your camera to peek around. Soul remains are fantastic for this part. I don't think I have any. I do. I have one. Great. Oops. So, this is perfect for this part. Throw it right at the damn wall. And as long as that's there, it should distract them, but it's not. That's weird. Alright, whatever. Come here, man. So let's just do our regular thing here. Oh god, there's two of them. Okay, here we go. Oh, come on. Don't do this to me now. Alright, this is not working. So... And I'm taking a risk here. I'm in human form. I really do not want to die in here with these guys. But, let me get this guy's attention. We're just going to have to play it super duper cautious here. And there is a reason that I'm showing you guys this part. I really, really want you guys to do this part correctly, so you don't mess it up for yourself. No unnecessary deaths. No bullshit. Bladestone Shard, that's their regular drop, so it's all good. And again, you gotta watch out for that attack. Thankfully, it's very slow. If you just wait for him to bounce, it's all good. Got nothing to worry about. Another hidden wall. So this is where we were wanting to get to. Actually, no, it's not. I lied. But that was a pressure plate, so be mindful. Alright. Here we go. Would you look at this guy conveniently locked up? This is what you need the copper key for. This is Grave Robber Blige.
You saved me. Heavens, I can't believe I fell for that trap. I suppose I owe you now. I'm Blige, a grave robber. It's thanks I can provide you with useful goods. Who couldn't do with a little help down in these parts?
So, nice thing about this guy, Grave Robber Blige, he sells real good stuff. Most importantly, he sells arrows. Now, you do not need to buy these arrows, the regular ones. You want to buy the wooden ones, because you'll notice that these cost half as much, but they don't do half as much damage. This only does 10 more damage per hit. That's not going to matter when you're trying to kill the dragon. But this is a pretty detrimental part of your playthrough. You want to buy as many of these wooden arrows as you can possibly carry. Our item burden is 70 of 98, but if you recall, we picked up a nice ring.
Nothing, a bit of indulgence.
The Ring of Herculean Strength. This will take our item burden to 147. So, equip that. Buy a ton of arrows from this guy.
Oh, hello.
Now, he also sells the leather armor, which is good. We don't want to switch to that because the armor that we're currently wearing is just straight up better. But he also has the scimitar, regular falchion, and you can buy a short bow from him if you want to. We can use this thing just fine, and it's got about the same damage and scaling as like the compound bow. I would say you're probably much better off going with the longbow though. So to compare them real quick, this longbow it's got 60 range, which is good, but it's got 35 damage, and we get 4 from scaling. So our damage with this thing would be 39. Our damage would be 33 with this.
Nothing's a bit of indulgence.
Now this bow, damage is significantly higher, 44. So I wouldn't recommend buying either of those. If you already picked up the compound bow, get your strength up to at least 12, and you can two-hand it. Easy peasy. And he also sells soul remains, sticky white slime, which is used to coat your weapon and make it do magic damage. And he also sells spice. He sells unlimited of these items, but they cost souls. They're kind of expensive. So you make that call. But what you want to do, for sure, is, let's see, how do I just like really increase the amount that I have? I want like a lot. You're going to want like 300 arrows. I don't think it's going to take that many, but let's buy that many, just so we're good. So yeah, that's what I recommend you do. And they're only 5 souls apiece, so it's not going to cost you a bunch of money. Renowned Hero Soul. We literally just got back all the souls we spent, and then some. So if you want to save yourself some trouble on this part, what you can do is you can go into your inventory, and we can use one of those Shard of Archstones. That way you don't have to run through any more enemies or anything like that. It makes sense for us in this case. We can save some time. But we'll warp back to the Nexus, and I will see you guys in Boletarian. So once you return to the Archstone that you unlock after beating the Tower Knight, what we're going to do is we're going to head straight towards this first mob. And you want to be real sneaky right here. The Thief Ring helps a lot for this part, but make sure that you still move slowly so you don't alert the Blue Eye Knight. You can take care of this guy pretty quietly, and some of these guys up here are going to turn around and it's going to seem like they're alert to you, but they're not. You don't have to worry about it, especially if you have the Thief Ring on. Don't worry about those guys. But sneak your way up these steps because, like I had mentioned before, every time you beat a boss in a world, it will respawn each of the crystal lizards in that world one time. So running around this corner, that first crystal lizard that we found is going to come back. Make sure you take care of him to get those large hardstone shards because they are going to be helpful later. And once you make your way down the bridge, find a suitable spot to shoot the dragon from. You can be down here on the bridge like I am, or you can be up above where the crossbow guys are. It doesn't matter. Take some practice shots, make sure that you're able to hit him consistently, and that's why we bought 300 arrows to begin with. Because you're not going to land every single shot, and it is going to take you a little bit of practice to figure out how you can reliably hit him with every single shot to kill him as fast as possible, and make sure you don't waste all your arrows. When you land the final blow against the dragon, if you pan your camera off to the side, you can actually see him die out there. When he dies, you get 7,630 souls and the small scale flame demon soul. You're also free to go loot all the items on the bridge without fear of being burned to death, so that's a plus. But let's take a look at the soul item. The small scaled flame demon soul cannot be transmuted into a weapon, nor can it be traded for magic or miracles, so all you can do with this item is consume it, but it'll give you 10,000 souls. So you got over 7,000 for killing him, and then you get the soul item as well that's worth 10,000. That's a 17,000 soul boost right at the beginning of your playthrough. And that's why I urge you to kill him early. Go buy those arrows, go spend the time, take him down. But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been your faithful host, Let's Play Dark Souls HD, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.